you and I had a pretty personal conversation the other day, wouldn't you say?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah. We were getting
You
into
know,
some
like
very deep stuff.
Jeff and I, we started this company and we started researching these technologies because for a long time, and Jeff and I's backgrounds are radically different, but I would say that he and I have the same bent of mind, which is we like to read, we like to understand the world, and so we pay very, very close attention. And from my background in communications and going to one of the top schools in the country for literally journalism, PR, and propaganda, and being taught how all of that worked, to Jeff's background with information warfare and different things that he did for the Air Force. So it's really interesting how different our backgrounds are, but how our minds were trained the same way to look at patterns of information, to do deep research, and to correlate those. And just the truth is we got on the phone yesterday and we were, after our meeting was over, we just kind of started talking, as we do sometimes, about our analysis of the world. And I think that the easiest thing to say is in that moment, and something that we've been battling with recently, is fear. Is the fact is things don't look good right now. That if you're paying attention and you're looking deeply, whether it's the inflation and the cost of everything going up, or these corporations and powerful entities continuing to aggregate power unto themselves. You look at Tesla's now introducing these faceless humanoid robots, and next year they're going to be doing the first implants publicly of brain chips into people. I mean, it is, what's happening in Afghanistan. I know that everyone that's one of our soldiers, and Jeff, that really impacted him, and it's impacting all of us. And so it's like, we're all standing here and we're watching this situation unfold, and it's scary. It's scary, and I think that if you're being real about the situation, we have to admit that it's scary. But the first step in letting go of fear is admitting to yourself that you're afraid. And, I told Jeff today when we were talking about what we were going to talk about today, that I thought it was really important for us to cover that we're afraid, but that we have to let go of that fear. So Jeff, why don't you comment on that before I take it in any further?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone right now around us, fear is definitely a real thing. I've been listening to Dune, and what is the thing that they say in Dune? I cannot fear because fear is the mind killer. I need to let fear pass through me, so I can still do my job. And it's interesting that I just chose to listen to that book during these times, and here we are having this conversation. Um, our Bible tells us not to fear either because we trust in the Lord. But as a human being, or as a meat sack, as I like to call myself, the flesh, the meaty part, it's easy to get into fear mode, and it's easy to be consumed by fear mode. Like when I was in a fire department, we spoke about fear. We also spoke about adrenaline and how both of them can lead you to the same spot, which is tunnel vision. You can get stuck in this fear or excitement. Both of them have the same impact on this, but you can actually get routed down to where you're just essentially in tunnel vision mode, and you can't see anything else. You're either fixated on your fear or you're fixated on what excites you, and you lose track of everything that's going around you, and you start making bad decisions. And for me, the context of our conversation that we're having is, yeah, there's stuff going on that actually does scare me. There are things that I'm seeing happening in the world right now that quite honestly are making me wonder, where's my line? I just did a Facebook post, and while I was writing it, I was like, man, like in today's world, I'm going to be like labeled a domestic terrorist because I'm sitting here going, when have I had enough? When has the thing that's occurring around me pushed me to the point where I've said, as a human being, as Jeff Raymond, as my own entity, that's able to make my own decisions instead of the board collective that's out there right now. When have I had enough? And there is fear in that. There is scare because when you start saying things like that, you're starting to establish some boundaries that once you go across, you can't come back from one way or the other. Once you say there's a line, you know, this is the line, no further. This is it. When you start saying stuff like that, it gets really scary. And the things that are going on around us, they make that even more challenging, or make it more real, make it manifest more. You know, so I wonder constantly, what am I supposed to do? Because I don't believe in the fear to worry. I believe in, like, fear is can be good because it heightens your senses, it gets your adrenaline going, and it can lead to action. And it's a God-given gift that we have fear. It can also, like any gift, it can be used for bad purposes too, especially if you're a politician. But besides that point, uh, you know, it does get you motivated. It's like, okay, something's happening. It's like if I'm out in the woods and I see a bear, like the fear goes up, but then because my fear is up, my senses are highly effective. I'm paying attention. I see potential danger, and I start thinking about what to do about that danger. Um, and it's that sense that something's following you, for example, that's out in the woods as well. That fear is there. So anyway, I think the fear that I'm feeling right now is really more of one where I'm like getting the fight or flight syndrome is kicking in, and my fight is starting to get there, you know? So, and I don't want to put fight in play unless fight is required. So there's that stepping back out of tunnel vision going, okay, really, am I just scared? You know, what's going on? Am I reacting correctly? So that's kind of my emotional state, as far as what's happening right now on the fear side. So, um, I think there's a lot of things that at Eden that we're doing, and I think you want to transition into those, that, you know, we're aware of these types of things that other people are probably feeling as well, and, you know, we want to do something about it. Or we want to take our fear and direct it into action that's positive, that's constructive, that helps people, and quite honestly gives them hope amongst fear.
Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to check out the full-length video linked here. If you'd like to see all of our live videos, be sure to tune in on Fridays at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hope to see you there. We have a whole bunch of videos we've done, so you can also go to the whole channel, TheRealMartian.com, and you can follow along there. You can learn about food security, food independence, homesteading, and just watch me do crazy things. In the meantime, everybody, it's The Real Martian, out.